In this video, I'm using JavaScript to write an SVG element, a scalar vector graphic element that corresponds to an American flag. So stars and stripes. Okay, so the code can be found at the URL seen here. I have an overall, a little bit of style, not much, to make a background of it. Dark gray, the color, font color of gold, and then I move on to do the stars and stripes. Here is the result. So this flag is an SVG element that is generated dynamically using JavaScript. And I used, for all of the measurements, I went to Wikipedia, specifically the design of a flag, and it gave me, everything is based on the sort of height of the flag. So the height of the flag, I will specify as some number, and then all the other numbers are sort of relative to A. So in here, in this description, A is set to 1. For me, A will be some number of pixels, and then, but all of the, everything will be in relation to the A. So everything will scale from my one parameter, A. Okay. So I have a header, I have an empty div. This is where I will place the flag when I'm done, and then I start a script. So there's nothing, there's a header and an empty div, and everything else is generated dynamically in the script. Okay, so here I'm setting that parameter A. I set it to 416. This is set up nicely because 416, that's the height of the flag, and the height of the flag is going to be divided into 13 stripes. And so I did set up the number. I don't have to necessarily, but I did set up the number so it divided nicely by 13. And the other thing I like in computers is to have things that are multiples of 2. So I worked with a multiple of 13 for the number of stripes, and then the remaining thing I made, a power of 2. But that I didn't really need to do. Okay. I am using create element ns to make an SVG element. So I'm just, there's nothing but an empty div. I'm going to put the SVG element into the div, and then I'm going to put all of the things that make up the flag into the SVG. So the height of the flag was this parameter A, and the width was 1.9 times A. That was one of those things that came off of the Wikipedia site. And B, the width was 1.9 times the height of the flag. Okay, so next I work on my stripes. I'm going to have a looping 13 times. And alternate, I'm alternating in my counter. If it's even, my count is even, this is a color of red, again, off of the Wikipedia site, and then this is white. And so alternating between red and white, and I'm making a stripe. So I'm adding an element. The stripe is just a rectangle. I'm going to make all of the strips, all of the stripes the same width, and then the upper ones don't take up as much space, but I'm just going to sort of overwrite them with the blue when I get to the blue. So I'm just going to make all my stripes the same size because that's easier. So my rectangles have an X and a Y. So the X will be all the way over to the left, starting with 0. The Y will change for each stripe. It'll be the counter I times the height of a strip. The width is the entire width of the flag, and the height of a strip is 1/13 of the height of the flag. And I'm filling it with the color, which again is alternating, and then I'm adding the stripe to the flag. So that gave me my 13 alternating red and white stripes. The blue is just a rectangle. So I make another rectangle. It starts off in the upper left-hand corner, so the X and the Y are 0. The width of this is 2/5, so 1.9A is the whole width of the whole flag. The blue area is 2/5 of the flag. And then the height-wise, it uses up 7 of the 13 stripes. So 7/13 of the height. And it is this is a blue color. So then I append the blue region. And then the blue region is then broken up into tenths. So this was the height of the blue region, 7/13 of the overall height. And then I broke it up into further tenths vertically. And this is the width of the flag, and 2/5 is the width of the blue area. And then that is divided into 12 divisions. And that is, again, from Wikipedia. So I'm here dividing it up into 12 and to 10 divisions. And then I needed to know the radius of the star. So then that was, again, everything was told to me by Wikipedia, which I just completely believed. It tells me the diameter of the star, so of being 4/5 of a stripe. And so I worked instead with the radius, so I was working with 2/5 of the stripe. So there it is, the height divided by 13, that's a stripe, and then 2/5 of that. So that was the radius of my star. X and the Y are going to be the positions of my star. 0 is just fake parameters to start. If you look at the arrangement of the stars, there are 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 6. And then that in the sort of interstitial sites, then there are 4 rows of 5. So I'm going to split it up that way to make my life easy. So here's the 5 rows of 6. So I have these nested loops of 5 and 6, 5 rows, 6 columns. And then the position is move in, always start at G and then I times 2G. So I'm moving over 2G each time. So there I am at G, and then G and H happen to be the same, and E and F happen to be the same. So when I move over, I start at G and move over 2G and then 4G. So that is 2 times my counter times G. Same thing going down vertically. And then I had previously made a function that makes stars. And so I'm using that function. So here is this function I called make star. The number of points was 5. Here's the X and the Y that are the center of the star, and the radius of the star I called R. To get the stars seem to have this special property where they what do I want to say? This part of the star seems to be more or less horizontal, and I worked out in one of my previous videos that means there's a relationship between the inner and the outer radius of this 0.381966. So I threw that in there. The angle I wanted the point to be at the top, so the start angle puts the point at the star at the top. And then it was a white with no stroke. So it was just a white filled star. And then I added the star to my flag. That was this 5 rows of 6. Then I'm doing the 4 rows of 5. And they are starting out. So that's these ones down here. And they start off with a position down 2 and over 2. So similar to these started at down 1 and over 1, and these started at down 2 and over 2. So there's the big difference here, that the starting point is 2G and 2E. And then again, make the star, the same radius, and so on. And then when I'm all done, add the flag SVG to the div flag. And then here's my function for making stars, which I'm not going to go through because you can just watch the previous video in which I've made it. So that's what I wanted to show you, just this sort of fun little SVG generated dynamically. That's a flag. So some playing around with stars and stripes. That's what I wanted to show you in this video. Thanks for your attention.